Hello, Newark. Welcome to our Facebook Live, 5 o'clock. Every Monday through Friday. Yesterday I had technical difficulties, but not today. Got Dorinda Clark Cole taking y'all a little church today. We need this one. Diana Cruz, Denaya Cruz, right? How are you? Deidre, how you doing? Starlena Terry, good afternoon. Yvonne Marsh, good evening, how are you? Laura Haynes White, hello. Miss Rara Farrell, how are you? Keisha Jeffries, how you doing? Dorinda Cole here. Love Beatty, good evening, how you doing? Tracy Collins, always a pleasure. Adele McElroy, good afternoon, Adelia, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. Donna Lee, how are you? Diane Murray, how you doing? Willie Christmas, back again. Good afternoon, sir. Chioma Okuwezi. Marilyn Alvarado, how are you? Good evening. Nunez Pintor, how you doing, brother? Hanging in there. Anisha Baytops. Hello, and how are you? Crystal Hayes, how you doing? Good afternoon, Yolanda Green. Y'all know Dorinda Clark Cole? Awesome. He bought me all the way. Richie Will Love, thank you, sir. Lucy Warren, good afternoon. Regina Smith, good afternoon to you. And Ivy Abraham, good afternoon. Robin Latif, good evening. Bernada Wilson. Apostle Anna Rebecca Shell, grace and peace. Grace and peace. Dorothy Croner, praise the Lord, hallelujah. Cerise Stafford Mosley, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, dialysis workers are heroes on the front line too. Jacqueline Long, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I like that one. Lisa McDonald, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Deborah Bodson Bradley and Shay Gabala Thomas, good afternoon. Yolanda Acevedo, photographers, I don't know. I have to check into that and get back to y'all on that one. Louis Scott Roundtree, all the way. He brought us this far. He will take us all the way. Going to church. Joan Barton, good evening. Marcella Valdez, good afternoon to you. And Sandy McQueen, bless you, bless you, bless you. Yolanda Green, thank you, God bless you. Thank you and God bless you. Wayne Richardson, Essex County Freeholder District 2, good afternoon, sir. Jacqueline Long, trust God. Layla Prescott Taylor, good afternoon to you. And Eunice Mahassan, yes, we got to find a way to get that iftar going. We're going to get it done. Watch, we're going to do something creative, live, and outrageous with iftar. Watch. Marianne Darby, good evening, good evening, good evening. Your granddaughter wrote me a poem. Send it to me. RazBaraka7777 @gmail.com. RazBaraka 477777 @gmail.com. Looking forward to reading that poem. I want to read it on this Facebook Live. Yeah. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dorinda Clark Cole, for that. He bought me. I appreciate it. And young lady who said her daughter wanted to send me a poem, please send it to me. RazBaraka7777 @gmail.com. Send it there. I would love to read that poem on this Facebook Live. I'd like to showcase Newark talent for sure. And particularly during this time where we got to feel we have to be encouraged. People ask me, why am I playing music? Why do I read poetry? This is a difficult moment for us. This is not an easy moment. Some of us are in the house. We cramped up. Some of us are in places with people that are abusing us or taking advantage of us. Some of us are depressed from being in the house. Some of us have special needs and other kind of issues. You got parents in there with a bunch of kids that are working hard, that are homeschooling, that are cleaning, that are cooking, that are doing all of these things and trying not to catch this pandemic, catch this virus at the same time. It's a difficult moment for us, something that we never imagined, but we're going to get through it. Just like there was people who thought they threw Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego in that fiery furnace. It was 3, but when they looked, it was 4, right? That means we got to take somebody with us through this. And so it's important for us to encourage each other, to inspire each other, to make us feel good about the next day that's coming, because we have a lot of work to do to get us through this, and we're working hard to get us. We're going to beat this thing in Newark, y'all, because we Newark strong. We're going to beat this thing. And that's what Newark strong is about. We're going to beat it. We're going to beat it with compassion. We're going to beat it with love. We're going to beat it with sense. We're going to beat it with common sense. We're going to beat this thing, y'all. We're going to beat it. And we already seeing some of the numbers go down. In fact, I got a great email from Daryl Terry. I want to shout Daryl Terry out, the CEO over at Newark Beth Israel Hospital, who's telling me that they have seen almost 900 people who've tested positive for COVID have let 479 of them go home. After treating them, they were able to release them, and they said that it's flattening in the hospital. That means that things are getting a little better in the hospital, which is a good indicator for us. The great thing about that, and our numbers were low yesterday. They got a little bit higher than they was yesterday, and I'll tell you about it. But the great thing about it is that we're doing more testing. So we're testing more people, and if those numbers stay the same, or if they get slightly more, we're testing more. Because, when we first started, we were getting 200 to 300 cases a day. We weren't testing as many people as we're testing now. We're testing and testing and testing and testing, right? And so that means that if those numbers stay that way, or if they continue to go down while we're increasing the amounts of testing, that means that we have come a long way, and we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to stay at it, keep focused, keep social distancing, doing what we're supposed to do, and hopefully y'all put y'all lights to the window or to the door yesterday on Monday for our frontline workers. Here's our numbers for today. So Newark has 5,965 positive cases. That is an increase of 105 from yesterday. Increase from 105 from yesterday. So we had 105 more positive cases today. Still not as high as we used to be, but we still need to see the consistent numbers going down. Remember, I told you we're testing more people, so you'll see some levels of spike. Today we have 453 deaths, which is an increase of 9 new deaths. 9. Remember, yesterday we had 1 increase of 9 new deaths. Still not as high as we used to be, still getting lower, but we need to sustain that. 9 deaths, and we're testing more folks. That means we have to stay in, y'all. Continue to do what we're doing. We're doing a great job. Look, I seen a guy outside, a kid, riding his little skateboard. I was about to be upset, but the little boy had on his mask and gloves. So at least his mama said, look, I got to get this guy out the house. We need fresh air. But at least she was conscientious enough to tell him to put on the mask and gloves. Look, we need you to stay in the house. But if you absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, desperately need to go get some air, make sure you go outside with mask and gloves on, please. We're doing good. We want to keep going in this direction. So we need to keep the pressure on. We're in the middle of a fight. We need to keep the pressure on in this fight. Essex County has 14,891 positive cases with 1,324 deaths. New Jersey has 130,593 positive cases with 8,244 deaths. There's more than 3.5 million cases around the world. 3.5 million cases around the world with 250,000 people around the world who has died. In the United States, there are 1.2 million cases and 70,000 people who have passed away. America is the epicenter. Let me tell you, listen to this. America, the United States, is the epicenter for the virus, for the pandemic globally, meaning that we have more deaths in the United States, right? And we get more cases in the United States than any other place in the world, right? Now, New York has the highest numbers of cases in the country. And after New York is New Jersey. And Newark is the largest city in New Jersey, right? So the work that we're doing in Newark impacts the entire state, So it's important for us to understand that. I don't have the zip code information for you today. I apologize. We couldn't analyze it. Our computer system went down. They're working on it. Hopefully we'll get it fixed by this evening. I'll be able to talk to you about it tomorrow. Listen, the United States says that a third of all the deaths in the country, that's 33% of all the deaths from COVID, are African Americans. We represent 13% of the population, but 33% of all the deaths. Today, the CDC projected that we would have about 135,000 deaths in this country. 135,000 deaths. We already had 70. 135,000 deaths. And if we represent a third of that, that means that 45,000 African Americans will die based on the projections of this virus. So when you see these guys hanging out and doing different things, remind them, tell them that number. And if you go to Georgia, so I keep getting these phone calls about beauty parlors and barbershops. Georgia is predicting that their cases will increase by 46%. Georgia, because they opened up, the projections that they will increase COVID-19 cases by 46%. We have to be careful. That's why we established a local committee here in Newark to begin looking at when we open up, how we open up, what gets to be opened up first. They had a first meeting today. I was on a phone call with about 7 folks that are chair people that are in charge of different committees. There are about 40 to 50 people on this team that'll be discussing how we open up, when we open up, what industries open up, and we'll have a 2-week interval. I've been saying 2 weeks. You've been listening to me on Facebook Live for at least 2 or 3 weeks now. And I've been saying 2 weeks. I listened to Governor Cuomo today, and guess what he said? He said they're going to have 2-week intervals in between the times that they open up. So we're doing something right in the city of Newark, y'all. We're going to do the 2 weeks. So when they tell us what comes open first, we wait 2 weeks and we open up something else. And the reason we wait in 2 weeks is because we have to give ourselves 14 days to look at the amount of new cases to make sure we have no spikes. And if there is a spike, we can easily dial it back without causing a bunch of chaos for ourselves in the city. It's important for us to know these things because when you look at who's being tested, where they're being tested at, how that stuff is working, who's testing positive, it affects us disproportionately than it affects everybody else. So we have to be clear on what we're asking and what we're prepared to do and not do. So let's talk about our testing. I want to go through it from the beginning to the end so you're clear on what's going on. We have to be careful because there are people that are going to try to take advantage of us during this period because we live in a market economy and everything is purchased on an open market. We don't have a nationalized economy. So the president has not invoked the Defense Production Act and bought a bunch of tests or set a price for tests and gave it to the cities in the states the way they are. We're competing for these tests on an open market. That means we're purchasing tests. Tests cost anywhere from $65, $70 to $100 to $150. That's what tests cost, right? So somebody is paying for it. Either your insurance is paying for it or the city through money that we got from the federal government or that we're supposed to get from the federal government. Let me fix that. That we're supposed to get. Right now, Newark has gotten no money, zero money from the federal government, zero money from the state, zero money from the county to do any testing. We are hopeful that we're going to get that money. We're optimistic that we'll get money, but we can't wait. So we started marching forward until that money comes. We started marching forward. And it's dangerous for us because it affects our budget. But we have to do this. It is completely necessary. So what have we done and what are we doing? We've already been testing people at the Federally Qualified Healthcare Center, Mary Eliza Mahoney Healthcare Center. You could go there whether you have insurance or not, whether you're symptomatic or not. You have to call first. You can go to Mary Eliza Mahoney, the Federally Qualified Healthcare Center, and get tested. You can also go to Weekway Park, sponsored by the county in conjunction with us. Thanking County Executive Joe DiVincenzo has a testing site open for us at Week Wake Park. You don't have to have symptoms. You don't have to have insurance. You can go right through there. You have to sign up, and they test you right there, right? The city of Newark has begun with our testing with our most vulnerable population, because people will tell you, oh, we're going to test everybody. It's really political talk when they say they're going to test everybody, because we just don't have the resources or the money to test everybody. So what we're going to do is use our resources to test very specific and vulnerable populations first, and as it comes, we're going to grow it so we get to a point where we test most people in the city of Newark, right? And that's where we want to go. And those of us who we can't test through our apparatus, we're going to set up testing sites that allow you to use your insurance or your Medicaid or your Medicare, right? And even if you go through there, you should not be paying a dime, anything, zero. It's totally free. The insurance company is supposed to pay for it, and they're supposed to pay for any treatment that you get afterwards. So this is what we're doing. The city of Newark is testing all senior citizen buildings with the help of the Newark Housing Authority and Director Victor Cirillo. All senior citizen housing authority buildings. Tomorrow we'll be at Baxter Elderly. We'll be at Seth Boyden Elderly tomorrow. We did Stephen Crane Elderly. We did James C. White. We did Branchbrook Manor Elderly. We're going to do all of those, and we're going to do the long-term health care facilities. And these are the facilities where people are dying at, because these not only are the elders in there, but they also have conditions that make them susceptible to the virus. So we're testing those folks first, and we're testing senior citizens first. We're also testing all of the homeless in our 21 shelters in the city of Newark. We're testing all of the homeless in our shelters. We also stood up another shelter where we're grabbing the most difficult of those from in and around Penn Station. Remember, we can't force them to come, but we have close to 150 already in the shelter, and we're testing them. We're going to test all of them first. Why? It's difficult to find them, to get them back, so we have to test them first, right? We can't contact trace them. And then we are setting up sites like tomorrow. There's a site at Branchbrook Park skating rink. You should have gotten information. Some people have called and they've gotten erroneous information. Somebody have told them to bring $100, $150. Don't bring any money. You're not going to pay a thing. You're not supposed to pay a thing. It's for your insurance. Medicare, Medicaid is accepted there. Your insurance, no copay, no nothing. You don't pay those people a dime. Anybody asking you for money, you make sure you let us know. You're not supposed to be charged there. So we set up a site just to get it started quickly for people who want to get tested, to use their insurance there. After we finish our homeless, we're going to be moving and setting up larger sites for people who are asymptomatic. That means no symptoms, and people who do not have insurance. So you can come in and get tested. We're going to branch it and do as many people in Newark as possible, but we're going to start with our most vulnerable and sick population first. That's what we're doing. So keep your eyes open, be a part of that, understand what's going on. If you have relatives in these senior buildings, make sure that they're taking advantage of what we're doing and that they, in fact, get themselves tested. And if they're sick, they have to isolate themselves and quarantine themselves and stay in their apartment. They can't come out. They have to stay in there for at least 14 days, at least 14 days to get through this whole thing. And then 3 days after that, they have to have 3 full days without any symptoms, without any fever, without any medicine, where they're feeling okay. We have to do this, and we're doing it vigorously. And so connected to the testing is something that's called contact tracing. And I talk about this every day because I want you to be clear on what it is, right? The contact tracers call you if you will test positive, and they call everybody, they interview you, and they call everybody you know, right? Everybody that you were in contact with, everybody that you were in contact with for 10 minutes or more, and they tell them that they should isolate themselves. This is how we track the virus down. This is how we isolate it and keep people in certain areas so the virus does not spread, so we can stop the spread. It's incredibly important for us to do that. If you want to call over there to Branchbrook to Branchbrook Skating Rink, you should call 973-988-5511, 973-988-5511. They're only there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you call after 3, you're going to get a call service from somebody somewhere else who has no idea what you're talking about. From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., call the number 973-988-5511. We have about 200 people or more that are already signed up to be tested tomorrow. That's tomorrow. We're going to have another testing site immediately. And remember, I told you to call the FQHC, Mary Eliza Mahoney. Listen, if you need that number is 1-800-734-7083. 1-800-734-7083. You can also call that we've been testing there. You can go there and also get tested at that site as well. Please don't forget that. We need you to remind yourself to get testing. Testing is important. These are the 3 things that we're looking for in order to open up. Getting a lot of questions about opening up. What do we need to open up? We need to see the number of new cases begin to decrease each day. We need to see the hospitals begin to free up themselves and not overrun, just like the email I got from Darryl Terry that it says that they're seeing a flattening at the hospitals. We need to see a consistent flattening at hospitals. So if you get sick, you can easily go to the hospital and not have to go to your house and die in your home. 3, we need to see an abundance of contact tracing and testing. We need to see testing and contact tracing. Those 3 things. We check those boxes. We're able to talk positively about those things. Then we'll begin talking about opening up. Right now, we're just at the tip of the iceberg. We're seeing some positivity, slight positivity. We have to sustain these results over weeks of time. And even after we test more people, if we sustain them, then it means a whole lot. We just have to continue to do what we do. Listen, I was on a county call this morning, Essex County call with all of the mayors in Essex County. And one of the things that they said, because they opened up those parks, and I'm begging y'all, stay away from them parks, man. But one thing they did say about the parks and about Newark is that when they went to Newark, at least 90% of the people in the parks in Newark had on a mask compared to other cities in the suburban areas who were only at 50% or 60% wearing a mask. 90% of our residents, when they went outside and went to that park, and I'm telling you shouldn't go, but if you go to the park to wear the mask, 90%. So I'm proud. It made me feel good to be the mayor of this city. Our residents are taking it seriously. Let's move that 90 to 95%. Let's move it to 100%, right? We need you to wear a mask. If you have to jog, if you have to walk, if you need fresh air, put on the mask. Set an example for people. If you're out there with your child, make your child put on the mask. It is incredibly important that you do that. I am so happy that the folks are abiding by those rules. We need to continue to do that. Now, I also want to listen. I give the brothers on Elizabeth and Renner down there, they get a hard time from my security, from the cops. They get a hard time from standing out there. I just want to say something to them, man. Lately, they've been out there less, and when they are out there, 90% of them have on a mask. So I have to, you know what? I beat up on them a lot. I have to tell them, man, shout out to you guys on Elizabeth and Brenner for being smart enough to wear a mask and setting examples of other people wearing masks. We're just trying to save your life and save your grandmother's life. We want you to have a sense of humanity. I know you're hard, you're a tough guy, you're from Newark, New Jersey, but everybody, the rain falls on the strong and the weak alike, on the old and the young alike. When it rains on African Americans, Latinos, whites, Indians, Asians, everybody get rain, right? When it rains, all of us get wet. And so I don't care how strong, how young, how viral you are, you can catch this virus. So I appreciate the fact that you guys at least out there wearing masks. When the cops tell you to move, that you listen to them. And I appreciate that, because we are witnessing in different parts of the country this kind of aggression with our people in the police who are forcing people physically to remove themselves. They're getting into shouting matches and cussing matches. And this is not right. It's not right for them to behave this way, but it's also not right that we do not understand the word community and live under the concept of humanity. Listen, we have to be conscientious about the folks in our neighborhood and our community. We have to love them as we love ourselves. And if we don't love ourselves, then we have to get into something where we begin to practice self-love and power, because the day is May 5th, right? It's Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all of y'all out there, but it's also power refinement. We have the power to refine ourselves, to fix ourselves, to stand up straight, to be in charge of our circumference and everything around us, to do what's good and what's right, to beat this virus, to fight this virus. But we need discipline. We need discipline in order to do that. So shout out to those guys again on Elizabeth Arena. Shout out to everybody that went to those parks and put on those masks. You made me proud. And that's why I know before when they said Essex County has practiced more social distancing than any other county in the state of New Jersey, I know that Newark is a big, 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 big part of that. So love you guys for that, man. Please stay on it. The only thing that I have to say that you guys are not doing is the census. We need you to get on this census, man. www.2020census.gov. Take you 20 minutes or get online. Put it out there, man. Spread to all your circles to tell people to fill out the census. We need this money. Listen, if Newark had more money, we would be able to give more money to small businesses in this crisis. We'd be able to give more money to renters in this crisis. We'd be able to give more money to arts organizations, to nonprofit organizations. We'll be able to sustain ourselves in this time. So the 2020 census helps us with that. And speaking of renters, I wanted to announce this. So I'm going to announce this, and I need y'all to do me a favor, right? So Newark is we are about to unveil a rental assistance program for folks who are 50% or below of the area median income. And so we only have a limited amount of money. So we're going to identify maybe 1,000 to 1,500 people, and we're going to give you $1,000 towards your rent. We're going to help you do that, right? But we also need you to call your Congress people, Payne, Ceres, right? Wherever you at, we need you to call them. We need you to deal with Senator Menendez, Senator Booker. Tell them to support Representative Maxine Waters and Representative Sherrod Brown's bill. Sherrod Brown and Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Waters, and Congressman Brown are sponsoring a bill of $100 billion to give relief to folks that are renters. I know some of you landlords need money too, but listen to me. If they give money to renters, they're able to pay your rent. And if they can pay your rent, then you can pay your mortgage and your taxes. If you can pay your taxes, then we can sustain fire, police, sanitation, water, roads, all these other things. So it's incredibly important. It's a domino effect. So please support Representative Maxine Waters. You can go to her website at Representative REP Maxine Waters or at Sherrod Brown. Support their bills. So tell your congressman to support the bill, $100 billion for rental assistance. And Newark is about to unveil its own little small mediocre rental assistance program for as many people as we can do that for. It's the least that we can do. We have to. We don't have any other choice. We have to do this. So just want to shout out Newark Youth One Stop. Appreciate y'all. Will Away, thank you. She's the one who gave me the video about the difference in social distancing, showing some places giving out masks and some people beating people with sticks. Listen, we've been giving out masks in Newark from the very beginning. We're giving you a summons too, but we're giving you a mask so you can walk around with masks on. We need you to do that. Munchie the Plug, shout out to you and Black Girls in Public Health. We thank you for the support and the help. We need you around this contract tracing. We thank you. That's you 2 for 2, Munchie the Plug. You 2 for 2. Fez the Cap, Street Doctor, keep pushing, hold the line, stay out there and do what you do. Ranice Bruce, Ranice MB with the Nina Simone song, Young, Gifted, and Black. Thank you for that, making your daughter play that. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. 973, what is it? I forgot. L Wisdom 973, L Wisdom 973 for that music and the support of my poetry. I appreciate that, my brother. And this is I love this one. I hope I say the name right. Naya 276, Naya or Naya 276. Her daughter Camille, hope I say that right too. Her daughter Camille is 10 years old. Her daughter made masks for one of the long-term healthcare facilities on North 13th Street. She deserves a round of applause. Many of us are out here fighting because we don't have a mask, right? We won't put one mask on the bus. Check out Naya 276 page, NAIA 276, her page. Check out her daughter Camille, Kayemeele, Camille. Hopefully I'm saying it right. God bless you. 10 years old, making masks. Creative, bright, brilliant Newarker, going to do amazing things. You making masks right now in the middle of this pandemic. Ain't no telling what you're going to be making 15, 20 years from now. Keep it up. Godspeed to you. God bless you. I wish you the best. That's for sure. And thank you. We need you. Youth Development Clinic, shout out to you as well. Want to shout out some young ladies, and this is not a positive one. Want to shout out these young ladies who are having a Corona party. They look like teenagers on 170 South 9th Street. Listen, we know about your party. We don't have the party. I'm telling you now, May 30th, don't have the party. Send out the stuff, telling people you're not having a party. It's not a game. It's not funny. You guys are young. You have mothers. You have grandmothers. You have fathers. You have grandfathers. They could possibly get sick. Somebody can come to your house and get sick, take it to their mother, their grandfather, their grandmother. Then you'll be responsible for somebody's death. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you now. You already put the Facebook message out, Instagram message out. Take it back. Tell them it's canceled. Say Mayor Baraka canceled our party. Get angry with me. Get upset with me. Everybody is blaming it on me. Listen, I'm used to everybody blaming things on me. I'm used to everybody blaming stuff on me. Somebody doing construction on your block, it's the mayor's fault. Your daughter don't do well in school, it's the mayor's fault. Somebody get hurt in your neighborhood, it's the mayor's fault. It's okay. I got strong, broad shoulders. You know, you can't have the ocean without the powerful roar, the rain without the thunder and the lightning. I know it's coming. So blame me. Tell the people your party is canceled. 170 South 9th Street. You guys are having a party. Shut it down. May 30th. Do not have it. We know about it. So I'm just letting you know for your own good. It's not a good thing to do. And hopefully your mother or father hears this and they tell you not to have it. We ended with Maya Angelou. Caged bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream to the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. God bless y'all. Godspeed to y'all. We definitely going to see freedom.